How's it going, everyone? Matt Layton. Welcome back to another real estate video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about negotiating and negotiating with a difficult person, a difficult negotiation where you send over the offer and it's actually a fair offer. It's a good offer for both sides, and for whatever reason, that other person, maybe they're being stubborn, maybe they got up on the wrong side of the bed, maybe they don't like you. For whatever reason, they're not seeing the value. They're not, whatever you're doing, you're just not getting through to them. And in this video, what I want to go through is 5 ways that you can work with a difficult person, a difficult negotiator. So let's get into that right now. The first thing you can do is agree with the other side. And let me tell you what I mean by that. When they come at you with something emotional, something from the heart, agree with it. I'm not saying, I agree this is a lowball offer, it's a terrible offer, I agree. No, you're not saying that. You're saying, yes, I agree, it is lower than the sales price, or yes, it's probably lower than what the seller was expecting. Because when you submit your offer and the other side is sad, upset, disappointed, mad, angry, whatever their emotion is, whatever they're feeling inside, they're going to want to get that out. They're going to want to vocalize that. And if you immediately say, no, it's not a lowball offer, here are the comparables, here's this, that, and the other, you need to take this offer, well, that's just going to rile them up even more. There's a time and a place for it. Right now is the time to listen, to agree, and to accept their emotions. And don't do it in a patronizing way. Don't say, oh yeah, if I was in your position, I'd be upset too. Don't do that. Don't be disingenuous. Accept their emotions, agree, and agree with empathy. Number 2 is working with the other side. With movies like Wolf of Wall Street and TV shows like $1 Million Listing showing negotiation at a high stakes level, I feel like those TV shows and movies are painting negotiation as a bunch of aggressive one-liners said by smooth-talking salespeople in slick-back haircuts. Now, I may be a little bit jealous about the slick-back haircuts, but a lot of times it looks like negotiation is a bully that is trying to back its prey into a corner with no escape. And I'm not against strong-arming the other side or using aggressive negotiation tactics, but a lot of times this is going to be something I hold in my back pocket to kind of, break glass in case of emergency as a last resort. The issue that I'm seeing is that agents or people are talking at the other side instead of with the other side, the other person. Have you ever been in those conversations where 2 minutes into the conversation, you still can't get a word in, and every time you try to talk, someone talks over you, or you just get ignored or dismissed, or you just get interrupted? Who would want to work with someone like that? You certainly don't have to be friends with the other side. You don't even have to like the other side, but you should respect the other side, and you should want to work with them, because ultimately your job is to get your client the best deal out there, and you're going to have a much higher chance of doing that when you respect and you work with the other side, not against them. Number 3 is don't argue. Don't raise your voice. Don't yell. Don't shout at the other side. Sounds simple enough, only happens, I don't know, every single day during someone's negotiation. Let me tell you a quick story. It's a long story. I'll give you the short version. I was negotiating a deal with an agent last week. When I say last week, I actually mean last week. And she was saying things like, oh, we can't use these properties because they're not recent enough. And oh, you must be a new agent. We don't do it that way. This is how it works. Oh, guys, my heart, my ego, that hurts. Oh, sweetie, you must be a new agent. Nothing enrages me more than someone talking down to me. So I had 2 choices. I could engage with those comments or I could ignore it. I ignored it, but what I really wanted to say was, I've been licensed for over 5 years. In those 5 years, I've done more deals than you have in the past 25 years that you've had your license. And oh, by the way, the comparable properties that we can't use are the best comparable properties I know, because I was the listing agent for both of them. But I can't say that. Why can't I say that? Because when I start saying that, that's not about the deal, that's about me. And that's about my ego and my bruised ego. And you know what, guys? I'm checking my ego at the door. Because the second you start arguing and you start becoming emotional, You're losing sight of what's really important. It doesn't matter. My feelings don't matter. Oh, you must be a new agent? Okay, ignore. Oh, that's not how we do it? Okay, ignore and move on. That's irrelevant to the deal at hand. The second you start getting emotional, you're losing control, and the person who loses control, the person who gets the most emotional, is going to have the least amount of control. Check your ego at the door. Don't argue the irrelevant facts, even the facts, even the comparable properties. Don't raise your voice. Don't yell at the other side. That's not a good way of doing business. Don't argue, all right? Let's move on to number 4. Number 4, when you're presenting the information, sometimes working with difficult people and difficult negotiations, it can be hard even to get out the numbers to the other side, even to have the other side to review what you sent to them, the comparable properties. So, this is for the alpha personalities, the A-type personalities, the bulldozers. And guys, I really don't care who I negotiate with. I'm going to adjust my strategy depending on the personality of the other side. But when you've come to that dead end and nothing seems to be working, I have the exact line to use that can hopefully get you over that hump and get you closer to the deal, okay? So here's the exact line to use. Are you ready for it? Taylor Swift song. It's a great song, by the way. Okay, so here's the line. What information can I provide to you that would show you that this is a fair deal for your client? I'm going to say that again. What information can I provide to you that would show you that this is a fair deal for your client? I'm not saying this is an amazing deal, your client needs to accept it. I'm not saying you need to accept this offer in 24 hours or we're going down the street. And listen, guys, lines can work depending on the situation. This is for an exact scenario where you've just run out of options. You're at an impasse. You're at a dead end. Anything you're doing, you're just getting an immediate no. You're getting an immediate roadblock. Because, guys, when you're working with a bruiser, you can't go straight at them. You got to flank them. When you're working with a difficult person, you got to figure out a creative solution to go around them. And there's one word in there that I want to focus on. That's the word fair. This word was chosen very precisely because it elicits a sort of third-party reaction where it's no longer, oh, the buyer's getting the better deal or my seller needs to win this deal. Fair is an overarching kind of mediator type of, okay, well, could it theoretically be a fair deal for my client? You know what I mean? So use that word fair. That's going to be critical in that line. And one last thing on the question, when we're working with these types of personalities, we want to give off the illusion of control. We want the other side to feel like they're in control. The way to do that is to ask the open-ended questions, get the other side talking, ask those open-ended questions, and lead them down the path that you want them to go down. The 5th way to deal with a difficult negotiation is to walk away. The best leverage you can have in a negotiation is the ability to walk away. If you have to have the deal, you're gonna get the deal. You're just gonna overpay for it. And guys, I hope you're negotiating in person or over the phone. I get it, text messages, emails, whatnot. You're gonna be negotiating over these two, but the best negotiating is done when you're actually talking to another human being. That's the optimal, that's the best end results possibility, if you will. And here's exactly what to say when you've been presented with an offer and you're gonna have to go your separate ways. I guess technically you could do this via email, but you can also say this face to face. Here is the line. Sorry, that just doesn't work for us. That's it. That's all you have to say. Or try this one. Thank you for the offer. It's a very generous offer. I'm sorry, it's just too low for us. Or even this. Thanks for trying to make this work. The price is just too high. Silence. They're going to fill the silence. Use the power of silence, the power of crickets, as I call it, to fill up that silence. You don't need to tell your life story. You don't need to go through everything and then say, oh, by the way, we don't accept the offer. But I do like putting in there the apology and the thankfulness to try to get the offer work. One, because I am sorry that we can't close on the deal. Two, I probably do in my heart thank the other side, and I want to leave that, you know, that bridge open. I don't want to just say, no, that offer was a joke. Who would ever accept that offer? Well, you know, 6 months down the line when they still need to sell, I kind of want them to come back to me and give me my amazing terms on the deal. I want to keep that bridge open, and I don't want to burn that bridge. What's the opposite of burning the bridge? Do you keep a bridge open? Then it'd be like a drawbridge. And anyways, guys, you don't need to like sugarcoat it. Just be straightforward. Thank you for trying to make this work. I'm sorry it just doesn't work for me. I appreciate your efforts. I'm sorry the price is just too low. Short and sweet. That's the best way to walk away from the deal. Okay, guys, that's all I got. I really appreciate it. Those are 5 ways that you can deal with difficult negotiations in your business and in your life. I really hope that you can immediately implement that. If you liked this video, if you took anything of value, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. Until next time, create a productive day. Take care.